Welcome everyone. Today I am going to be discussing the new Golden Pass changes, this time from a free-to-play perspective. I know my last video on the topic was more just informative, going over all the different changes to the new tournament mode and the Golden Passes coming to the game. And I was pretty positive about the changes because I like to stay optimistic, but I know that I didn't really cover a free-to-play's point of view. I was sort of speaking from my perspective as a real and a content creator for the game. But in today's video, I'm going to go over why the change is generally awful for free-to-play players, because it's not good in any way, shape, or form, and I'm going to cover exactly why in today's video. So for those who are unaware, the Golden Pass in Disney Speedstorm is going through a pretty massive overhaul. Instead of being able to purchase the Golden Pass for 950 or 990 tokens, not too sure which, but you can't buy it with tokens anymore. Now it's going to be a direct in-app purchase for $10, $20 for the bundle, and also on top of that, instead of just having one Golden Pass for a season, they're going to have two. There's going to be like Golden Pass Part 1 for the first half of the season, and then Golden Pass Part 2 for the second half of the season. They are both going to be 50 tiers each, so now we have 100 tiers of rewards. And on top of that, there are going to be 2 premium characters, so each part of the Golden Pass is going to have 1 premium character in it. You get 70 shards for each of them, and then the free character will stay the same across both the Golden Passes. Now this already has a ton of negative implications for all of the free-to-play players out there, because now there is officially no more ways to unlock the premium characters in the season they come out for free, basically. I think it was mentioned in the blog post that there will be unlock packs for them, and I'll talk more about that later. But essentially, since the season box was split into 4 different parts, and you only get the premium ones once you actually unlock them, so like Ursula and Ariel, you don't have their boxes until you unlock the character. This means that characters like Ariel, you can't get unless you have the premium Golden Pass. Like right now, I don't think there's any unlock pack for Ariel. There's no way to obtain Ariel other than purchasing the Golden Pass, and then you get access to her and her box and all that good stuff. The new Golden Pass system rolls over, you'll only be able to get both of the premium characters by purchasing their respective Golden Passes. So this means where as a free-to-play player this season, could still get Ariel by grinding ranked multiplayer, and it is a long grind. Like it takes some serious dedication and commitment to the game to grind out 1,000 tokens from ranked multiplayer. Where a free-to-play player could do that this season, they can't do that going forward in Season 7. You can't grind tokens in ranked multiplayer. I mean, you still can, but you can't use them on the Golden Pass. You can use them on other stuff. And maybe you could buy their unlock pack with tokens, but unless the unlock pack is like 500 to 1,000 tokens, preferably on the 500 side, it's just, which I don't really see it happening, to be honest. It obviously could, but I don't see it happening. And other than that, there's going to be no real way to get these 2 premium characters, and it has more of an effect than just being 2 characters locked away that you may potentially really want that you just can't get without spending money, no matter how hard you really try. It has other implications. For example, Star Chaser events, I think, is one of the more prevalent ones. In these Star Chaser events, oftentimes they require the premium characters, like Ariel. Right now, there's literally a Star Chaser, the Hades one, and I think the Daisy one too. Both have Ariel required objectives, so this means you're going to be missing out on things like epic crew member shards for whoever the Star Chaser racers are. Now, obviously, they do have time, and they could change it so that next season, when Star Chasers start coming out, we no longer have these premium characters required, and I think that is something that definitely needs to happen. If you're going to keep these premium characters locked, they need to be required for as little stuff as possible. Take them out of the events that are similar to Tales of a Sea King, the one needed to unlock Triton. Having Ariel required in there, or whoever the equivalent of Ariel is going to be next season times 2, if they're required in that sort of event, it's going to really suck. If they're required in the season tour at all, it's going to really suck. And the same is true for future season tours, because think of characters like Stitch, like Sully, like Buzz, like Genie. Think about the amount of shards you've gotten for them since their seasons have ended. It's not a lot. They tend to be pretty conservative about the epic shards they give out. Yes, Stitch has gotten a Star Chaser and Sully's gotten like 2 Star Chasers, but besides that, they haven't done too much for these epic characters, and normally it takes a while for them to start giving out shards. Like Elsa, I don't think I've gotten any shards for her this season, like maybe very little, but definitely not enough to fully unlock her, which means there's going to be a lot of hard to obtain characters, and they could very well be in the season tour. I know this season we had a Stitch node, I think we had a Buzz node, and a Sully node as well, and those are all premium characters that are going to get exponentially harder to unlock after the season ends. Now, there are so many different ways they could fix this system. They could keep it purchasable just like it is, 2 premium characters, and they could simply make it, this would probably be like the most probable solution, but also like the least appealing for free-to-play players, and just make it so that these characters are not required for anything. It's just the only thing you're missing out on by not being able to purchase the Golden Pass is the characters itself. You're not missing out on Season Tour progression, you're not missing out on Star Chaser progression, you're just missing out on these 2 characters. Or they could make it more feasible to unlock them. Maybe when you buy 1 Golden Pass, you get enough tokens in it, enough blue tokens, to buy the unlock pack for the other character, or something like that. I think that would be a very positive change, because then you don't need to spend $20 to complete the collection, which in my opinion, it's too much. $20 is a lot. It was already $10 for the Golden Pass last season, and you could easily complete a collection, so doubling that, it just feels really bad in my opinion. So giving tokens to obviously purchase unlock pack, and then of course the most obvious and best solution would be to make just the Golden Pass purchasable with tokens, but I don't think that will happen, which is, it's okay. Again, there's other solutions like I've mentioned. And if you have a different solution, be sure to share it in the comments. I'm really curious to hear all of your guys' thoughts on these changes in general and how they are affecting free-to-play players. But outside of, the FOMO and missing out on all that stuff, and there is the new tournament modes too, where you're going to need those characters to complete their tournaments and their vault passes and stuff like that, so it really sucks that you'll be missing out on that as well. But besides that, I think another very negative change that I didn't really touch on in my last video is the FOMO. Personally, I really love the idea of 2 split Golden Passes and the split Season Tour, but that is just me talking as someone who plays Disney Speedstorm so much. Like, I'm in love with this game, I play it every single day, literally. I make content on it, and the season switching over gives me more stuff to make content on. It gives me more stuff to play every day. Switching to the second Golden Pass and the second Season Tour, it gives me more stuff to do, and it's exciting for me. But for someone who doesn't have a lot of time, maybe they take weeks off of a game at a time, maybe they really only play at the end of the season, grind out all their missions, complete all the Season Tour chapters in a day or 2 or something like that, this is obviously a negative change for them, because now you need to at least grind the game like twice a season pretty hardcore in order to get all the rewards. Yes, progressing through the Golden Pass all the 100 tiers is just as easy as progressing through the 50 before, but now you have a time constraint for the first 50 and the second 50 that is half of the time constraint that it was before, and the same is true for the Season Tour. You now have to complete the first 5 chapters, and if you miss out on any of them, it goes over to the next 5 chapters. And I think this is a bigger problem for the Season Tour than it is the Golden Pass, because for the Season Tour there are sometimes ridiculous nodes. I think we can all agree on that. Like there's like Stitch nodes or whatever where you need them at level 25, and then so when you can see those in like, if they're in chapter 6 or chapter 8, you're like, okay, I have that long until I need to have Stitch at that level, so I can go play him in Racer Boost, I can focus him in Ranks Multiplayer, and I can grind him and level him up, so that way when that Season Tour chapter rolls around, I can complete Stitch's node in the Season Tour chapter. But that is no longer going to be possible, because now after the updates, you're only going to have 5 weeks, so grinding someone up another star level in Racer Boost in 5 weeks, it's just not nearly as probable as an entire season, in my opinion. And so I think that change, like, I don't know if I would revert it, because again, it's exciting for players like me, but I feel like it wouldn't do them much harm to have the Season Tour just be 10 chapters and you could still split the Golden Pass. So that way there's still some FOMO in terms of progressing through the 50 Golden Pass tiers, and you still need to get a certain amount of XP in that time in order to fully progress. And again, I do think there are still positives to this change, even for free-to-play players. You get 100 tiers of free rewards now, and you don't have to worry about grinding tier 50 over and over and over again. But again, I do think for a free-to-play player, the negatives very much so outweigh the positive. And once again, I think the biggest negative overall is the fact that you can no longer purchase the golden pass with tokens. It's truly an unacceptable change, in my opinion. Again, I think if they implement some of the solutions, maybe buff tokens in ranked multiplayer, make unlock packs for these premium characters cheaper, so that way it is somewhat feasible to obtain at least one of them per season. I think the unlock packs need to be less than 1,000 tokens, so that way all free-to-play players can grind ranked multiplayer the same amount that they were before in order to earn the golden pass for free, and this way they can buy the unlock packs for the respective characters that they're missing out on. At least one of them per season would just feel a lot better than missing out on 2 of the 5 characters in a collection. It really does suck. You're getting all these new exciting characters, and maybe the 2 that you love the most are just locked behind a paywall. That would definitely be incredibly unfortunate. And moving on to another solution that they could possibly do is just reverting the season box change. This would definitely be one of the better solutions in my opinion, if they could make it so that all the characters were in a general season box like it was for Frozen, Aladdin, or any of the seasons prior. And then, you would have the chance to unlock the premium characters from that. I don't know if they would do that because it would make the value of the golden pass way less, because you're not really getting an exclusive character anymore. You're just getting 70 shards for a somewhat rarer character, which is still great value for $10. If you have money to spend on the game, buying the golden passes is still going to be the best value. But unfortunately, I don't think they'll revert the season box change. But yeah, that's my general thoughts on the new changes from a free-to-play player. I once again want to apologize for my video. I was just really thinking from a whale's perspective and my perspective, and I got a lot more hate for it than I thought I would, so I apologize about that, but I hope this video was good enough to share my thoughts on what I think it's going to be like for a free-to-play player, because really these changes do suck a lot from a free-to-play perspective, and after talking with you guys a lot, I definitely understand it a lot better in a way I didn't when I initially made that video. But thank you guys so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.